Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a fascinating plunge into a book called Sex Tips for Girls by Guys.
Exactly. This book, published back in 2012, it sort of aims to give a direct line on what men find enjoyable, in intimate encounters.
Okay.
We're looking at it as a unique window into male desires.
Okay, let's unpack this then.
Hmm.
So the book goes through all sorts of interactions. Starts with gentle touch, teasing.
Hmm. And then moves into, let's say, more explicit territories. It even talks about what guys appreciate afterwards, the afterglow.
Right. And what's interesting is it includes these like little snippets,
Right.
quotes.
Presented as direct quotes from men, sharing their preferences, their desires, makes it quite personal.
So our mission here in this deep dive, it's more than just summarizing, right?
Absolutely. We want to pull out the practical stuff, the actionable tips, and, spot the key themes about male perspectives on intimacy.
Sort of sifting through it for our listener.
Exactly. Giving them a better handle on what might, actually resonate with a male partner.
All right, so the book kicks off with a section called Touch Me. And straight away, it challenges maybe a common idea.
Yeah, it really highlights that men, just like women, actually deeply value sweet and sensual foreplay.
Okay, so it's not just about rushing to the end goal.
Not at all. And what's insightful is how they illustrate it.
Yeah.
There's this specific memory.
Oh, yeah.
A man recalling, vividly apparently, a woman using a feather boa to just caress his body.
Wow, okay.
The fact that that simple sensual act stuck with him really shows that, male sexuality isn't always just about the finish line. The journey matters.
That gentle, pleasurable touch is significant.
Hmm.
Makes sense.
Totally.
And it moves on from just that build-up to something called man pampering. Simple acts of physical care that feel special.
Yeah, it kind of flips the script a bit, doesn't it?
A little, yeah.
We often think of men maybe as the givers in this context, but the book gives some, lovely examples of how receiving that care can be a real turn-on. Imagine taking a bath together and she's massaging his back and chest with bubbles or shower gel. It's about feeling, I guess, nurtured.
Mhm.
Another idea is just, using massage oil all over him, mixing it up, firm strokes, light strokes, even teasing touches. It says, I cherish you, basically.
Right, that communication aspect. Then it gets playful with zones, spots beyond the usual suspects. What's the idea there?
Well, what's fascinating is the focus on these often overlooked areas. The book gives examples like how sensitive the jawline and neck are to kisses,
Okay.
or the sort of intriguing feeling of a fingertip just tracing the lips and then maybe gently entering the mouth.
Oh.
And even the subtle thing of fingernails lightly raking through pubic hair, but crucially, not touching the penis directly.
Interesting. So it's about exploring the whole body.
Exactly. Pleasure can be found in a much wider range of touches than maybe we think.
Right. And then it gets quite direct, doesn't it? A section called Very Handy. It says a woman taking a man's penis in her hand is thrilling.
Yeah, no mincing words there. This part really emphasizes the power of that direct physical contact and maybe the woman initiating it.
So it's not just about a full hand job.
Not necessarily. It includes more casual but still intentional strokes, like sneaking your hands around his waist from behind,
Okay.
tracing his package, maybe teasing through his pants, or, massaging his penis in the shower with shower gel using long, deliberate strokes.
It's about focused attention.
That's it. Focused physical attention.
And it even takes it a step further with two-handers. Using both hands makes a bigger impact.
Apparently so. The examples are quite specific. One guide describes the feeling of massage oil with both hands wrapped around, then a gentle twist. Another mentions linking fingers and gliding up and down. And a third really likes it when she sits between his legs, using that hand-over-hand stroke.
So it's more encompassing, more intense.
Seems like it. More deliberate, more engaging.
Now this next one's interesting. F-spotting. There's a specific area highlighted. The F-spot.
Yes, the book identifies the F spot. It's on the underside of the penis, where the foreskin joins the head. Some call it the frenulum, or the banjo string.
Right.
And what's insightful is the detail in the techniques. Tickling and licking with just the tip of the tongue.
Okay.
Applying focused thumb pressure there during a hand job, or drawing tiny wet circles with a licked index finger.
That level of detail suggests it's pretty important for some guys.
Exactly. Even within a familiar act, these little nuances can make a huge difference.
And sometimes, the book says, a hand job right to the end, a happy ending, is exactly what's wanted. Can be sheer bliss.
Mm-hmm. There's a direct quote from a man describing how thrilling it feels when a woman takes complete control, guides him all the way with her hand.
Right.
It also mentions specific preferences, like some guys enjoying hard, fast pumps around the head near the end, or even ejaculating onto her breasts.
It's about that feeling of release, being taken care of.
Precisely. Intensely satisfying, it suggests.
Okay, moving slightly south. Ball play. Stresses they're packed with nerve endings, enjoy attention. Is this often missed?
It can be, yeah. But the book offers a good range of ideas, from the super gentle, like cat licks or light fingernail grazing, to more involved stuff like gentle sucks, soft kisses, or just a comforting snug hold in the palm.
And it mentions positions, too.
Yeah, incorporating them into sex, like the woman on top sliding back and forth gently over them, or even a surprising little slap during a standing bend-over position.
Broadens the idea of pleasurable touch again.
Definitely.
Then there's this area called New Man's Land, the bit between the testicles and the anus, the taint.
That's the one. And what's interesting is the book says, look, it's often ignored, but for some men, it is an erogenous zone.
So how do you explore it?
Simple ways, really. Caressing with fingers or tongue, using it as a sort of resting spot during a blowjob, even just soft kisses there.
Encouraging a more holistic exploration.
Ex-
And continuing down under, exploring from the penis all the way to the anus. What's the thinking?
It's presented as a continuous, flowing touch. Trailing fingers down the penis, over the balls, then gently teasing around the anus.
Building arousal by connecting those areas.
Yeah, linking those different sensitive spots.
And then job inside. This refers to the P-spot, the prostate, and potential for intense orgasms through anal stimulation. That's a sensitive topic for some.
It can be, absolutely. But the book approaches it quite straightforwardly. It gives a technique. Gently insert a finger into the anus.
Okay.
Reach sort of up and forward towards his belly button. And really pay attention to his reactions. Let his moans guide you.
Right.
It even suggests combining it with, say, him stimulating himself or a blowjob for a potentially amplified effect.
Opening up different pathways to pleasure.
That's the idea.
Moving back up slightly. Getting cheeky. Buttocks are enjoyable to touch, too. What kind of touch?
It ranges. From a more traditional bare butt massage pressing, pounding, even some pummeling, then followed by light fingertip tracing,
Okay.
to a more unconventional hands-free method, using oil on your own belly and breasts and rubbing against his back and butt.
Highlighting the whole pelvic region.
Exactly.
Now, if someone's feeling a bit overwhelmed by all these specifics, the book offers a practical masterclass.
Yeah.
Just ask him to show you what he likes.
This is gold, really. Cuts through all the guesswork. The book gives examples like a woman putting her hand over his while he masturbates to feel his rhythm, his pressure,
Smart.
or just asking to watch him masturbate, direct communication, visual learning. It's powerful.
What about nipples? The book says maybe less sensitive than female nipples, but still a hot spot for many guys.
Yeah, and the tips focus on variety. Mixing sensations, licking, gentle nibbling, soft strokes, maybe even a light pinch.
Keep it interesting.
Exactly. Another idea is licking the nipple and then gently blowing on it. Creates goosebumps, that contrast.
Cool. Shifting focus again. Sedations, scalp massages. Relaxing, but also arousing.
Apparently so. The technique described sounds lovely. Sitting on the floor, his head in your lap,
Nice.
gently gliding fingertips along his hairline, circling his temples. And the book even suggests upping the intimacy, do it in underwear or naked.
How?
Yeah, and maybe finish with a passionate kiss or keep massaging while he's face down in your lap, connecting through that nurturing touch.
And surprisingly, toe play can be arousing, often linked to oral sex.
That's what the book suggests. The ideas are quite sensual. Licking, sucking each toe, slow lip movements, even shared toe sucking in a bath or hot tub.
Extending sensuality to unexpected places.
Yeah.
Playful.
Very.
And beyond just hands and toes, no-handers, using other body parts for massage.
Yeah, thinking outside the box, rubbing your breasts against him while you're on all fours, using your feet for a sensual footsie that might end up caressing his penis with your toes, or just letting long hair trail over his chest.
Novelty, different sensations.
That's it.
For a bit more intensity, rough and ready. Playful roughness. Woman taking charge. A turn-on for some.
Seems so. The ideas lean into that assertive dynamic, playfully pushing him onto the bed, pinning his arms for a kiss,
Okay.
or flipping him over for a firm, playful spank, introduces that element of control, consensual aggression.
And for those with longer nails, getting scratchy can be exciting.
The book shares stories from guys who enjoy that light grazing on their back with nails while being straddled, or how scratches during rougher play can be a hot reminder later.
Finding the right balance, I guess.
Definitely. Between pleasure and, well, not pain.
Finally, in this section, the triple treat. An advanced full-body massage.
Yeah, described as deeply sensual. Sitting naked on him, sweeping palms over his chest and belly, massaging his penis. Then climbing on top, but continuing to stroke his chest in sync with your movements. It's about holistic, connected intimacy.
Wow, okay. That covers a lot under Touch Me. Let's move to Tease Me. This is about building anticipation, right? Not just jumping straight in.
Exactly, and it starts with the power of tongue teasing.
The tongue is a potent tool.
Absolutely. So versatile, so sensitive. Examples include slowly sucking his fingers, one by one,
Okay.
nibbling an earlobe, then darting your tongue inside the ear, using bites, licks, nibbles down the body during a massage. It's intricate, playful.
And the book says, never underestimate it's in her kiss.
Yeah,
Kisses are that significant.
hugely significant. A powerful signal of desire, intimacy. It suggests different intensities from a sweet, gentle kiss with tongue exploration to pushing him against a wall for a passionate one with pelvic pressure. It's the connection conveyed.
There's a more adventurous technique, too. Tongue slap.
Yes. Described as having a slightly kinky feel. We gently grasped his penis, then slapped the head against the flat of your extended wet tongue.
A visual and tactile surprise.
That's the idea.
Then you spotting, focusing on the eye of the penis. Where's that?
It's the little opening at the very tip of the head. The book suggests giving it special attention, maybe at the start of a blowjob when sensitivity is high.
Yeah.
Position the tip of your tongue just above it. Hover, then draw tiny, delicate circles around it.
Very specific.
Yeah.
And using contrasting temperatures. Cool sensations.
Yeah, the idea is to surprise the nerve endings. Like running a warm, wet tongue down his spine, then following with cool breath.
Or licking and blowing on the neck. Nibbles.
Exactly, and during a blowjob, blowing a cool stream of air over his penis for a tingling sensation.
A fundamental rule for oral sex. No teeth. Any exceptions?
The book is pretty firm. Generally avoid teeth, unless it's gentle nibbling that you've both explicitly agreed on beforehand. Focus on lips and tongue.
Got it. Building anticipation during oral sex is the point of a trip down south.
Yes, creating that tantalizing journey, like pretending to go down, then pulling back up for a kiss.
Oh, the keys?
Exactly, or crawling slowly over him, head towards his feet, saying, "Look, but don't touch." Or kissing toes, working up the inner leg, hot breath near his penis.
Delaying gratification in a fun way.
That's it.
Varying the rhythm. Quick, SLOW, what's the pattern?
It describes 9 quick, shallow thrusts, then 1 slow, deep plunge. That variation keeps things unpredictable, heightens sensation.
And swallowing up. How does the book handle that?
It acknowledges preferences very wildly. For those unsure, it suggests swishing to your hand as he gets close and just hovering your tongue near the head. The visual might be enough.
Practical advice. No, a different dynamic. Motion control. Let him lead. How does that work?
Here, the woman kneels. He stands. She takes him in her mouth, keeps her head relatively still. He controls the depth, speed, rhythm, a different sensory input for him.
And the flip side, motion control. You stay in control.
Right. He moves back and forth, but she uses her hands on his shaft to control the pace, the depth, the rhythm. She guides the experience.
Finding what works for both makes sense. The book also covers alternative positions in pole position, blowjob variation.
Yeah, changing things up, like her sitting on the edge of a chair while he kneels, or her on all fours on the bed and he slides underneath.
Getting creative. For the more adventurous, back of beyond analingus, licking the anus. How to introduce it.
The book suggests a sensual buildup, maybe when he's fresh from the shower. Tongue from penis to perineum, then a flick across the anus.
Okay.
Then using the flat of the tongue, swirl, lick, press, lap, maybe a gentle poke. Combining with hand stimulation is also suggested.
Right. And finally for teasing, glorious 69 and variations, mutual oral sex. Positions.
It playfully suggests just doing it, not asking. Lying top to tail on your sides, her on all fours above him, straddling his head, or him on all fours, she slides underneath. Shared pleasure connection.
Okay, great. Let's move into Seduce Me. Building desire, creating that anticipation, starts with play hard to get.
Yeah, the classic. The book suggests a hint of unavailability can work, like wearing sexy lingerie but playfully refusing sex for a bit.
Or making him describe how he'll pleasure you first.
Exactly. Create intrigue, not frustration.
And top turn-ons. First one is confidence. Why is that so attractive?
The book frames a woman's self-assuredness as just inherently sexy, telling him directly you want him badly.
Being direct.
Yeah. Or undressing slowly, clearly enjoying being watched. Owning your sexuality is alluring.
Instead of just foreplay right before sex,
Yeah.
all-day foreplay.
Keeping the spark going.
Keeping him mentally engaged. Saucy texts, suggestive emails,
Okay.
calling him on his way home, whispering about how hard it is to wait, building that anticipation throughout the day.
And for starting the day right, naughty wake up.
Yeah, gently sliding your hand around his package while he's waking up. Morning erections, peak testosterone, he might be receptive.
And if he is,
Climb on top, initiate.
communicating pleasure clearly, show and tell.
Yes, actively guiding his touch. Caress yourself how you like it, then guide his hand to do the same. And, crucially, positive reinforcement, tell him when he gets it right.
Good advice.
Yeah.
And simply flirt in and out of bed.
Absolutely. Consistent, playful flirtation, sexy looks, suggestive texts, compliments. Keep that sensual connection alive. There's a technique. Sexy workout. Internal squeezing. Contracting vaginal muscles.
Yes, Kegels, essentially, but during intercourse. The book says it enhances friction and sensation for both. Even notes the pumping can feel like milking for him.
Interesting. And sometimes a spontaneous quickie is irresistible.
Taps into that primal, slightly naughty vibe, dropping panties without fully undressing.
Stand-up doggy style.
Yeah.
Using stairs, desks.
Exactly. Speed, convenience, maybe a slightly risky location adds thrill.
But the opposite is true, too. Slowies. Taking your time.
Creating a sensual atmosphere. Steamy bath, candlelit bedroom, hours of making out before sex.
The slow body kisses, afternoon in bed with snacks, champagne massage oil.
Yeah, savoring the connection.
Girl on top, often cited as the most exciting position for men. Why?
Several reasons given. The visual, seeing her body, her pleasure, her orgasm might be easier, and seeing that as a turn-on. Plus, fast hip movements can create intense friction. Lots of sensory input for him.
And man on top. Ways to make it more interesting.
Wrapping arms and legs around him, koala style, rocking. Raising legs in a wide V for deeper penetration.
Hooking ankles over his shoulders.
Yeah, also for depth and intimacy.
Spicing up missionary.
Ah.
Missionary plus.
Twists.
Changing angles, closeness. Sitting on cushions to elevate hips. Closing legs tightly around him once he's inside.
Grabbing his butt. Whittling hips.
Increasing friction, sensation.
Relaxed intimacy. Sexy side by side.
Perfect for lazy times.
Yeah.
Spooning, reversing against him, or cuddling face to face, wrapping your upper leg around his waist. Close, sensual embrace.
From behind, often seen as raunchy, visually stimulating.
Very much so. Standing, kneeling, lying down, starting standing for peak excitement. Your undulations create direct sensation for him.
Standing room only implies urgency, desire.
Yeah, spontaneous, maybe a bit risky. Leaning against a wall at a party. Facing the wall, hands up like being frisked, that illicit thrill.
For the flexible, slinky sex. Amazing positions. Definitely leverages flexibility. Using a pillow or wedge for a backbend, different angles. Leaning back into an inverted handstand while he holds you.
Whoa.
Or straddling him lying down, lowering your head between his feet. Adventurous stuff.
Care for his seat. Sitting down sex. Lusty. Puts her in charge.
Yeah. Straddling his lap, bouncing, sitting with your back to him, holding his knees for leverage, using furniture.
Intensifying his orgasm. Orgasm boosters. Unexpected tricks.
Sliding your hand between your legs in a V shape for a tighter fit as he climaxes. A hard surprise spank. Pressing on the perineum.
Achieving the scene. Kitchen sets.
The thrill of the counter while he stands, hands free for your breasts. Lowering him in, then opening legs on the counter, maybe no panties.
Bathroom. Steamy. Quick. Passionate encounters.
Leaning on the sink, him behind you, maybe splash with cold water, erotic bath with oil, maybe a vibrating rubber duck. Playful.
Outdoorsies. Novelty. Fresh air. Risk.
Under a tree in the rain. Discreetly under a blanket on a secluded beach. Change of scenery, slight risk factor.
Girl power. Thrusting. Women being active movers, too.
Not just on top, rotating hips in missionary, like whisking. Rapid pelvic vibrations while he's in a push-up position.
Preventing premature ejaculation. DELAY tactics.
Gently tugging his testicles when he's close. Distracting him with a firm massage elsewhere. Suggesting a mid-sex break for oral.
And surprisingly, not tonight, honey. Denying sex increases desire.
Paradoxical, right. Booking a hotel with a no sex till we arrive rule. Suggesting erotic massage instead of sex for a bit. Building sensual tension.
Finally, keep your clothes on. Fully dressed intimacy. Nostalgic.
Yeah, like teenage lust. Thrilling, close through fabric, good for quickies.
Okay, that's seduce me. Now for please me, specific acts, scenarios men often enjoy starts with a dice game.
Yeah, fun way to add variety. Use dice to randomly decide positions, locations, attire, roleplay, dares, even number of orgasms. Spontaneity.
Bubbly sex, using champagne.
Playful and sensual. Straddling him with a glass, giving a fizzy kiss, letting champagne trickle into his mouth. Using your champagne-filled mouth for oral spills or an excuse to lick.
Erotic poses, photo shoot, common fantasy.
Poses.
Alluring, revealing poses, straddling a chair backward, looking over your shoulder, sitting facing him, arched back, thighs apart, sitting sideways, removing a stocking slowly, visually stimulating.
Sneak previews, quick glimpses.
Tantalizing suggestion, short skirt, no panties, bending over, nightie slipping off a shoulder, dress riding up to show stocking tops, the tease factor, vocalizations. Sounds a pleasure matter.
Hugely. Positive feedback for him feels skilled, desired, doesn't need to be dramatic, small gasps, groans work. Saying his name is a big boost too.
Blindfold bliss heightens other senses, element of control.
Shifts the dynamic. Putting a blindfold on him in the bath, then joining him. Waiting in bed in lingerie and a blindfold signaling he's in control.
Water play. Men enjoy being in water with partners.
Often, yes. Playful water fights, bikini, tight white tee, using ice cubes in bed to cool each other down unexpectedly.
Mirror magic, watching yourselves during sex.
Massive thrill for some. Mirror by the bed, stand-up sex in front of a mirror, maybe he lifts you. Bending over, him behind, catching his eye and winking in the mirror.
Pubic hair preferences. Sensual shaving, making it intimate.
Inviting him to trim your pubic hair in the bath or shower. Follow with lotion application, a kiss. Turns grooming into connection.
Breast appeal, general appreciation, how to highlight.
Visual and tactile, leaning over so he feels them on his face, making him watch you oil them, asking him to rub it in, sliding them up and down his body during a blowjob.
Brilliant burlesque,
Ah.
intriguing sexy.
Creating a mini performance. Stockings, heels, lingerie, feathers, shimmying, slowly undressing to music, building anticipation.
Condom techniques, streamlining the process.
Simple but key. Get good at putting one on quickly and smoothly. Don't kill the mood.
Using everyday formats suggestively. To-do list, erotic version.
Emailing a to-do list, but the tasks are erotic activities for the evening together. Playful.
Your call phone sex, phones as sex toys.
Building anticipation from afar, sexy calls when apart, describing what you're doing, wearing, asking him to imagine intimate acts.
Seeing the body. Come to light, leaving lights on.
Many men like seeing their partner fully. Bright lights might be harsh, so candles are a softer option. Red light bulb for a kinkier vibe.
Wining and dining. Simple sexy meal at home.
Preparing his favorites. Presenting a handwritten menu where dessert is listed as you, suggestive.
Pool pleasure, sex, and water.
Unique sensations. Him sitting on the edge, you perform oral. Weightless sex standing. Legs wrapped around his waist.
Taking charge. Be brazen. Being bold.
Men often like it when women are direct. Sitting him on a chair, telling him not to move, or playfully tying him.
And
Slowly undressing, pleasuring yourself in front of him, then inviting him to join. Taking control.
sexy shopping. Browsing together.
Exciting prelude. Browse sites together, naked in bed. Pretend to be reviewers, discuss, then demonstrate the toys on each other.
Hair raising. Hair as sensual stimulation.
Hair tumbling around shoulders when a headband's removed. Winding hair around his erection, pulling away gently. Hair tickling his chest in reverse cowgirl.
Give them a buzz, vibrators. Men can enjoy them too.
Absolutely. Live demo on yourself. Him holding it against your clitoris during sex. You using it on his shaft.
Teasing through clothes. Girl material. Touching through fabric.
Anticipation without full exposure. Tracing his package through underwear. Hot breath near lips. Gentle bite through the material. Don't release till he's aroused.
Get sweaty. Exercise. Boost sex drive.
Can do. Embrace the post-exercise state. Flirty looks at the gym. Sweaty smooch right after. Showering together.
Movie night. Turning each other on. Watching arousing content.
Building tension. Set a no-touching rule for a while. Watching porn together. Heightens desire for when you can touch.
Easy role play. Leave your hat on. Using hats.
Simple way to signal a mood. Stetson, wild passion. Cop's hat, dominance. Gangster's trilby, naughty. Maid's cap, flirty. Nun's headpiece, sinful. Top hat, showtime. Playful.
Play opposites. Doing the unexpected.
Surprisingly arousing. Virginal white lingerie instead of red. Porn instead of romance. Standing instead of missionary. Backyard instead of bedroom. shake things up.
Eastern spice, tantra, exploring eroticism.
Can be blissful, exotic scents, candlelight, slow rhythmic music, massage, slow mindful sex, savoring the connection.
Interactive game, sex by numbers.
Playful, write numbers on your body with chocolate body paint. He licks and caresses them off in order.
Helping him find your G-spot. G marks the spot.
Guiding him. Physically guide his fingers. Tell him the pressure and rhythm you like. Even use a dildo to demonstrate.
Heel power, high heels appeal.
Very appealing to many. Wear them during sex in various positions. Casually rest feet and heels against the wall.
Dirty talk, explicit conversation.
Often enjoyed, especially when turned on. Breathless calls when apart. Slowly describing intentions. Whispering desires during sex.
Guy compliments. Men appreciate them too.
Definitely. About their humor, their package, their skills in bed. Verbal affirmation matters.
Illicit thrill. Working late, office sex. Locations.
Conference table, desk, elevator, supply closet, photocopier. Power play ads throw you're the boss, where he is and you're the temptress.
Again, not tonight, honey. Denying sex increases desire.
The key is anticipation, not just refusal. Impose a waiting period. Suggest erotic massage instead.
And finally, keep your clothes on. Fully dressed intimacy again.
Nostalgic, exciting throwback, great for quick, passionate moments.
Phew. Okay, the thrill me section. More intense, adventurous stuff. Starts with teach him a lesson, spanking.
Yeah, surprise spank during a back massage can be a pleasant shock. Creates tingles, pleasure. Experiment with implement spatula, paddle alternating spanks with caresses.
Private view, open legs. Clear view is arousing.
Incredibly so for many. Lying back, fingers spreading lips, standing, 1 foot either side of his head, pulling panties aside, on all fours, bottom up.
Backdoor entry, anal sex. Highly desired by some. Key points.
Best when both are super aroused, relaxed, lots of lube is essential. Gradual, gentle insertion, communication, comfort are paramount.
Beginner bondage. Chain him up. Simple technique.
After a kiss, have him cross wrists behind back. Gently bind with a scarf looped over a coat hook above him. Leaves his genitals accessible for you.
Voyeurism fantasy. Peep show. How to play it out.
Leaving the door ajar while you do something sensual, drawing off. Lotion. Role-playing him, peeking through a keyhole before joining you.
Role play. Hello, stranger. Meeting in a bar.
Scorching hot potential. Meet as strangers, intense attraction, do things you wouldn't normally do with someone familiar.
Sensory deprivation. In suspense. Limiting sight and sound.
Heightens other senses. Blindfold him, put headphones with music on him, then treat him to kisses, licks, nibbles. Heightens touch, anticipation.
More direct restraint. In a bind. Handcuffs.
Elevates dominance, surrender, cuff wrists together, wrists and ankles, tie him spread eagle to bedposts, tease him mercilessly, or just enjoy being on top while he's restrained.
Playful restraint. On tape, bondage tape, or plastic wrap.
Asking him to dress you by winding tape around your naked body, leaving strategic gaps, tying his wrists to the bed so you have control.
Common fantasy. 3 in the bed, threesomes. Scenarios.
Girl on girl after a party. Or blindfold him. 2 women take turns kissing, licking, biting. He guesses who.
Kinky feel. A touch of leather.
Simple additions work. Wearing a leather belt for him to grab. Coming to bed in a leather corset or dog collar.
Safety first. Don't stop. Safe word. Why is it crucial?
Absolutely essential before bondage or S&M. Establishes trust, safety. A silly word works best, used by either partner to immediately stop the action. No questions asked.
Roleplay dynamic. Slavish devotion, being his slave.
Offering to be his sex slave for the night within limits. Masquerade mask enhances it. Total submission could start on all fours, addressing him as master.
Memento for separation. Going away gift. Sexy video photo.
Personalized, erotic reminder. Video of you two in various positions. A sexy photo tucked into his bag.
Private fun. Party night, intimate fun. Just the 2 of you.
Lock the door, be willing to try anything. Supplies, toys, videos, costumes, cocktails, massage oil, let inhibitions go.
Okay, we've covered a lot of techniques. Now, the afterglow, not a technique, but the lasting pleasure, the memories.
That's right. The book really emphasizes this. Recalling great sex can be almost as enjoyable as the act itself. Creates lasting positive memories, strengthens the bond.
And it shares examples of these memorable moments men experienced.
Yeah, a whole range. Incredible webcam sex involving a girlfriend and her friend. A surprise quickie before going out. Unexpected beach tent encounter. A Japanese sex chair.
Wow, quite specific.
Making an erotic film of a clothed girlfriend. Nurse doctor dress-up surprise party. Fantastic sex after a seedy sex show. Private sauna with a naked massage leading to orgasm. Surprise blowjob under the dinner table. being tied up, left with an erotic video, then her returning to finish. It just highlights the sheer diversity of what creates that lasting positive impression.
So wrapping up this deep dive into sex tips for girls by guys, it's clear it offers a really extensive look, right? A wide range of male desires.
Definitely. I think the key takeaways really boil down to, the importance of communication, open, honest talk with your partner.
And being willing to experiment.
Yeah.
Step outside the comfort zone.
Exactly. Trying different kinds of touch, interaction, and realizing that connection for men, well, it happens in obvious ways, but also less conventional ones.
And it also seemed to really stress that a partner's confidence, their enthusiasm, their willingness to initiate, that's a huge turn-on in itself.
Absolutely. That came through again and again.
So for everyone listening, maybe a final thought to chew on.
Yeah.
With all these insights we've dug into from this book, which suggestions really resonated with you? How might you think about maybe incorporating just one new thing, touch, tease, seduction, pleasure, thrill, into your own intimate experiences?
Yeah, just one thing.
And maybe the most intriguing part.
Yeah.
What could you discover about your partner, about your connection, just by exploring one of these ideas a little bit further?
That's a great question to leave people with.
That's your challenge from this deep dive. Until next time.